Public venues such as markets, bus stations, and expo grounds such as Gikondo are some of the places where people are not fulfilling the COVID-19 guidelines, with some not wearing face masks or wearing them inappropriately, as well as those not observing social distance, especially among the youth and the literate, something that has raised concern. Although there are hand-washing stations in front of where passengers get tickets for travel in Nyabugogo Park, it's rare to see a passenger washing their hands. Talking about the new strategies for combating and preventing the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Health Minister Dr. Daniel Ngamije said the pandemic has now intensified compared to the past due to the violation of guidelines. We are having many people dying almost regularly. Yes, they are of different ages, including even the young people with other underlying diseases. The other thing is that even among those that have healed from COVID, as much as they didn't die, but when you talk to them, they narrate of how difficult of a time they had when they had COVID-19, meaning COVID is real and very much present. It's not a disease for the elderly or those with chronic diseases. Among those that have died recently, there are those that didn't have any other chronic diseases. It's COVID-19 that killed them. So COVID-19 kills, and it's a painful death. Rwanda National Police spokesperson CP John Bosco Kabera said that at the moment, the youth are at the forefront of violating these regulations together with those that are resuming activities that have not yet been given the go-ahead to operate. There's been a lot of reluctancy and complacency, and people are not adhering to the measures. These times are tough and different, so there needs to step up efforts, whether it's in the curfew time or people going about with different services where guidelines are not being adhered to. This needs to be changed. Secondly, punishments need to be more strict to the people that don't comply with the guidelines, such as those that exceed the required number of people for weddings, burial, among other things, even those that host parties in their homes. This has become evident. The Ministry of Trade and Industry says that the country had expected the economy to grow by 5% next year, but expresses concern that the economic growth might slow down due to some traders failing to comply with the COVID-19 regulations. Now that we had started to have tourists and Rwandan citizens are allowed to go to the European countries and the Americas, but when their citizens go back, they are not put into quarantine. So if these numbers continue to increase, things will change. We won't be having tourists, and the hospitality sector would also come to a standstill. That's why these coming months, we should step up efforts to avoid the spread of the virus so that trade doesn't backslide, as it's been shown that the economy might backslide, which will be hard to revive if it continues that way. The Minister of Local Government, Professor Shaka Anastase, said that the failure to comply with the COVID-19 prevention guidelines is evident among the youth and the literate, and urges that there should be no compromise when it comes to respecting the measures. The issue of perspectives of people based on their capabilities and their ability to take care of themselves. People don't put in effort. For instance, when we tell local authorities to sensitize the communities, they feel like they can't tell doctors, teachers, or leaders or police officials because they assume these people know what they are doing, but rather they will concentrate on the locals. But whoever you are, you will receive punishment if you have gone beyond the prevention guidelines. In any case, actually, these punishments should be more tough. So I believe no one doesn't know the severity of the pandemic. As Rwandans are set to go into the festive season, different government authorities are urging people to step up their efforts to prevent the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Reporting for RTV, Gloria Mutesi.